What was it like working under director Ed Gass-Donnelly? What unique sensibilities did he bring to the film?
Ed is an incredible director to take the sequel to where it needs to be, both for look and story. Um, I'd seen Small Town Murder Songs when before meeting Ed, and I was so impressed by that film and his direction and vision and control of it. And working with Ed was incredible. He so wanted to be authentic to the first film and authentic to New Orleans. And in pre-production, he flew me down for Mardi Gras, and we would walk through that festival to get a feel of what it was like in the streets and kind of how people would hide behind masks and all of that ambiance. And we went to voodoo shops and got talismans and charms and mojo bags and all of that. He wanted to create a really rich atmosphere to play and to create in.
Awesome. Wasn't it Mardi Gras amazing?
Mardi Gras is so incredible. Yeah, it was my first time there seeing it. And actually, Abby, the costume designer, had pulled a series of images for the look of Nell, and one of them had in particular a hand brushing past all the other costumes in Mardi Gras, and that image stuck so much in my head. And in developing Nell, she's so tactile. There's that childlike quality about her where everything has a touch, everything means something, everything's new to explore because this was her first time off the plantation. So going through Mardi Gras and shooting the Mardi Gras scenes, it was very important to be tactile as the character and to absorb as much of the world as possible through the character's hands.
Awesome. So not many actresses perform their own stunts. Why do you prefer to do your own? What is the prep like for stunts of this nature?
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually they didn't know that I could do the backbend when I went to do the first film. I'm not a contortionist. I actually didn't know that I could do it until I was playing with some things. While doing research for the first film, I stumbled upon some footage of exorcisms and group exorcisms, and in it was a video of a woman getting completely inhabited by this thing. Her whole face changed, her whole body changed, and that really inspired me. And I thought, let me give it a try, let me play with that physicality. And I was experimenting with some things, and I found that backbend, and I showed the director, Daniel Stam, the night before filming in the hotel lobby. I said, I can do this, can you use it? And I went to the backbend, and he said, okay, so you stay there, and I'm going to rewrite some stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I had no idea it would become such the logo for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Yeah. Yeah. For preparation for, yeah. Did I get that question? Was there anything
What's the prep like for stunts of this nature, and why do you prefer to do your own?
Oh, okay. The preparation for the backbend was very intense this time around. The backbend was the signature image for the first film, and going to the second film, it was important to outdo that image. So when I levitated with the backbend for the second film, there was actually a physical therapist on set because due to the nature of the pull, my whole back would seize up in between takes. So every other take, there was a physical therapist to pop out my shoulder blades in between it. And the stunt guy was cool with me doing about 8, but I think we went 12 to 16 because it was looking so good and we were having so much fun and finding new things. But I do have the stress fracture to prove it in my back. I have a little souvenir takeaway from filming. I have a back corset. It's not a girdle. My friends call it a girdle. It's not a girdle. It's a corset designed by NASA and helps my back a lot. And
do you wear it? Did you wear it for the?
No, I'm joking. I found it after that.
Clearly,
I need to. It is a very intense corset. It's high fashion. It's built by NASA engineers. It's legitimate.
What about the scene where your character elevates above a bed?
For the elevation scene, I studied levitation. I'm a method actress, and I taught myself how to levitate. I said, I can do this, you guys. No, totally kidding. Yes, that scene was probably the most challenging scene to do on set and the most rewarding. It was this was the scene that the stunt guy said, you get her for 6 takes, and we went about 12. And what was exciting about that scene was it was all shot in 1 take with the crane and me lifting. So the whole room was rigged with wires. So my blouse was rigged to unravel, and the sheets were rigged to pull, and it was choreographed and choreographed and choreographed, and it had to everything had to match, everything had to sync up. So it was really, really fun. We went about 16 times, and I flew. I mean, it was the best day on set.
Very cool. Do you ever get scared during shooting, especially during the scarier scenes? When you saw the original for the first time, was there a scene that came out scarier than you had imagined?
I didn't necessarily get scared while filming. What scared me most was when I read the script for the first time. I'm personally terrified of the dark, and when I got sent the script, I read it immediately, and it was late at night, and it was so scary. Off the page, Nell was captured so brilliantly by Ed and Damien, and it was creepy and scary and crawls inside your skin. And I got done reading, and I was terrified, and I looked up, and it's totally pitch black around me, and I was like, here we go. This is gonna be great. So, yeah. In terms of the first film, a scene that really creeped me out was when Nell speaks in third person, and it's shot through the mirror. I like that scene because it was so subtly creepy, and here you have this character that externally she's all there, everything's fine, but internally the character is completely emotionally and mentally destroyed, and you see the breaking of her, and that was very fun to play and really cool to see how it was put together.
Okay, let's talk about Eli.
Yes.
Can you describe Eli Roth, what it was like being able to say you've worked with someone of his caliber, especially in the horror genre?
Eli is a horror magician. He can turn a scene that's scary into something that's truly terrifying. He's such a master at the genre. He's so versed that he's a visionary when it comes to films like this. He so knows the pulse of what's scary, and because he knows it so well, he can innovate so easily and come up with scares and concepts and storylines that are new and completely original. That was the most exciting part of working with him, was being a part of something new and different. I also was a huge fan of Eli's from the Hostel films. I liked the notion of revenge in the Hostel films, that the main characters would get even. And my favorite part about going into part 2 was that Nell gets even.
Since you do your own stunts, do you ever divert from the script and add in something you think will enhance the scene?
Well, physically, it's been fun to play with Nell. The audition for the first film required me actually getting exercised in the room and physically seeing what would happen with my body there. But the backbend was something I brought to the table and asked, is this usable? And they said yes. As far as working with Ed, it was very important to one-up myself from that backbend. And Ed and Eli and myself came up with that levitating backbend, which I think it was incredible to do, incredible to be a part of a stunt like that. That's the thing with Ed sets and Eli and everybody at Strike Entertainment, was they have incredibly collaborative sets where if you have something that you want to try, a physicality that you want to try, it's welcome. It's a safe place to do it.
Good. So in the same vein as that, do you want to, is there anything you want to preview for part 2? You did mention the levitating backbend to fans of the first film without giving too much away.
Well, in part 2, Nell gets even. I know that the first film was the last exorcism for Cotton Marcus, but The Devil Never Has a Last Exorcism.
Good. What do you like about Nell? What do you admire about her?
I like Nell's fashion sense. She can take a punch. No, I'm just- in all seriousness, I love Nell's resilience. Um, she maintains a hope and a spark of perseverance no matter whatever tragedy is surrounding her and whatever she's going through emotionally and mentally. She's resilient, she's strong, and I like that.
Is horror your favorite movie genre to act in? Is acting in a horror film different than working in other genres?
I think what attracts me to any character is the character on the page. It's the script, it's the writing, it's the concept, it's the directors involved. That goes for horror to drama to comedy, truly. I think what's fun about acting in a horror film is that as an actress, so much is demanded of you physically and mentally and emotionally. And, for instance, in these two films, to build two characters, I got a chance to build Nell and then build the epitome of evil, the devil, and Abalam. And to have the creative space to run free and use my imagination to build those characters was fun. You're put in the strangest situations, going way past what your imagination could fathom, and that's when it gets fun. That's when it gets scary. That's when it gets exciting, and that's what's great and experimental about horror.